It was only in a few months of summer vacation and the odd stolen moments that Mahler had time to compose. Throughout his career, Mahler would withdraw to a series of secluded composing huts he had built in the Austrian countryside. He needed the solitude and loneliness of these remote retreats in order to reconnect with the real source of his inspiration, the sounds of his childhood, growing up in a prosperous little medieval mining town. Mahler was raised in Jihlava, or Iglau, as it was known in the 1860s during his boyhood. Now part of the Czech Republic, Iglau was a provincial way station on the road from Vienna to Prague. Iglau was also a major military encampment at the center of the powerful Austro-Hungarian Empire.
So just imagine this place in Mahler's time, filled with thousands of soldiers. Each regiment has its own band. The Austrians, the Hungarians, the Romanians, they play music in different flavors, and young Mahler can't stay away from it. He's compelled to come here and follow behind the bands with his accordion, imitating whatever music he hears.
Mahler would always know when the troops were marching because his house was only half a block from the parade ground.
So this is the view Mahler had from the front rooms of his parents' house. If you look down there, you can see that just a few steps away is the parade grounds. That means that with the windows open, all that racket military music would have been coming in here. And there was other music too, the sounds of the tavern musicians below us, which would have been filtering up the courtyard.
The tavern catered to soldiers and other rough patrons from a town that was a stewpot of different social classes and ethnicities. Here, Jews and Gypsies moved in alongside the native Moravians, Bohemians, and Czechs. These locals hung on to their traditions, preserving the age-old culture and customs of the region.
Mahler's family had been resettled here like other Jewish families, like families of Freud and Kafka. And they maintained a kind of uneasy toleration here with German-speaking Czechs and Moravians awaiting the next capricious edict to come down from Imperial Vienna.
Mahler grew up in an Orthodox family in Iglau, part of a small but thriving Jewish community. Saturday services were part of the family's weekly practice. On one of his first visits to the local synagogue, legend has it that the precocious young Mahler, hiding in his mother's skirts, brought the proceedings to a standstill by shouting, be quiet, it's horrible." Then he began to sing one of his favorite songs at the top of his lungs, the Knapsack Polka. Tunes like these would provide the raw material for Mahler's music, but he also drew inspiration from a more unlikely source. As a child, he sang in the choir at St. Jacob's Church. His best friend's father was choir master, and it's here that he was introduced to great music.